Hey, how you guys doing? Hope everyone is doing great. Hey, Marlene, I guess it's just me and you tonight. And it's okay. Hey, Robin. Okay, I see people are starting to come in. Awesome. So I hope you guys are doing good. How you doing, Robin? And I hope everything is going well. Today I have been working a lot on a lot of my orders. I am finally caught up. So it's kind of like I'm like, okay, I got to do some machine maintenance on my embroidery machines. So I figured what I would do is I would do the maintenance on it and then tell you guys exactly what I'm doing and stuff to probably help some of you guys. Okay. So as you guys know, you're supposed to run maintenance on your machines every annually, right? To keep them going. But the thing is that sometimes you do have to do some type of maintenance in between, right? Because it's not just you take them to the shop once a year and then you just work it to death and that's it, right? It doesn't work that way. So usually what you have to do is you have to change a lot of stuff or clean a lot of stuff actually. So I'm going to start with my 10 needle and I figured I would go ahead. Hey, Leslie, I would go ahead and show you guys how I actually do this. Now, first thing first is changing the needles. Now, I've already changed that. Okay, so I'm not going to really show you guys how to do that and stuff. But one of the things that I do want to do is I want to show you the inside of here because that's what a lot of people kind of like don't understand. So I'm going to grab the tool to clean this out. First, you want to take your bobbin out. Okay. And I hope you guys can see. I think you guys can. It's not like super close, but I'll describe what I'm doing. And then let me go in here. I gotta find the little the tool because what I need to do is unscrew some of this stuff. So I gotta look for the tool and stuff. And I know I have it. Oh no. Okay, I got it. Hold on. I just gotta look for it. Where are you? All right, hold on. It's probably in the toolbox. Okay, so you know when you organize your room and then you organize it so nicely that all of a sudden now you can't find anything. So that's what usually what happens to me. All right, so I gotta find the little screw thing. There's a screwdriver. I should have looked for everything before I went on the live. Okay, it's not in here. I know it's here. Hold on, just give me a minute. Just give me a minute and I will find the stuff. Because I always have to clean that out. Where did I put it? Where did I put it? Where did I put it? That's odd. All right, hold on. All right, I do have this little screwdriver that somebody gifted me. This does work. But I would prefer to show you guys what actually comes with the machine that you're supposed to use to do this. And for some reason, I don't know where it went. All right, I should have plenty because, well, this is a little screwdriver that I have. Okay, I'm using this. So, but this isn't really the only thing. There's something else that you're supposed to use. And I don't know where I put it, which that's not good. Okay, so let me look in the other box. Because I'm sure I have extras. It's just to find out where I put the extras. Give me 1 minute. And that's something when you can't, you know what? That's just so wrong. I can't find it. Okay. Oh man. All right, that's not good. I know it's gonna turn up, but it's gonna turn up when I don't need it, right? That's usually what happens. That sucks. Oh, yep, I knew it. This is what you get. Okay, this is what I was looking for, guys. All right, so let me move this over here. Let me bring you guys over here so you guys can see. All right, so I already took the bobbin out of here, right? I took the bobbin out of here and stuff like that. Usually you're going to have like a bunch of lint that's all in here and stuff like that. You want to get the lint out. Now, one of the things that you really want to do is you want to be able to get your brush, right? And there's certain brushes that came with the machine. It's like a white one. But one of the things you can do is you can go to like Five and Below and you can get like these little brushes. They're really soft. And what you want to do is you want to go in, right? And when you go in, what you're doing is you're pulling out the lint, okay? You don't want to push the lint inside of it. What you want to do is you want to gently go inside and you want to like pull out the lint, okay? And just clean it out. That's all you want to do, all right? But to make it easier, okay, what you can do is your machine comes with a little tool like this. And what you want is you want the flat part that's right here. And what you're going to do is you're going to unscrew this plate that's right up here, okay? And did I lose you guys? I hope I didn't lose you guys because I don't see you guys. Did I lose you guys? Oh, there you go. All right. Sorry, guys. I thought I lost you guys. All right. So I'm going to unscrew this. And I figure while I do the maintenance of the machines, because I've had so many orders that came in, right? And as the orders came in, my tension was off on the machine. So on this machine, so I had to adjust the tension, and that happens because sometimes you're running the machine so much and you're changing the bobbin so often that you're going to have to sometimes adjust the tension. Now, when you're taking off the screws on these things, always make sure you put them somewhere, and you don't want to lose these screws, okay? Because then, I'm sure maybe you could get the screws from Home Depot or Lowe's. I'm not sure. I have not lost any of them. And I will tell you this, though. One of the things that I have done is that I've gone to, like, I think it was Sewing Machine Plus or one of those websites where you can buy parts for your embroidery machine. And when I usually have like find little screws or something like that, I try to go there and try to rebuy extra screws. The reason why I do this is because sometimes you don't know if you accidentally lose a screw or if a screw gets stripped, and you don't want to like not be able to replace that screw, okay? Because then you can't run the machine. All right, so I'm going to take this out, and I take out the top and I take out this little thing right here. You need both. Don't throw anything out, okay? So what I usually do is I'll take a brush. And where are my brushes? Where did I put my brushes? I'm a mess. Oh my God, what's going on? Okay, it's because I had so many orders today that I have been, okay, my brushes are in here. All right, so yeah, I just didn't put them back where they're supposed to be. There you go. All right, let me stick them in my little thing right here. There we go. All right, so I always take my brush and then I just gently clean this. Put you guys over here. I just gently clean this, okay? Gently clean it. Now, then I put it aside. Where was the cover? Where did I put the cover? Okay. Now, I want you to show you the cover here. See, there is, I don't know if you see it, but there is dust right there, right here on this part. See how it's a little dusty? So you're just going to take the dust off, and usually I'll just put it on my clothes. So I just really take that out, and I clean it really, really good. That's all. Okay. Now, and then I put it on the side. Now, the thing is, I want to see if you guys can see it. I don't know if you can, but I'm going to lift you guys up, and you can see right in here, that is kind of dirty right there, okay? There's a lot of lint and stuff like that. I wish I had like a little camera and stuff like that. But as you can see, there's dirt right here and stuff like that. So I have to like gently go like this with my brush, and I don't know if you guys can see all that lint. Okay. So that's all lint from the machine. And as you can see, the way I'm brushing it up. okay? Because I want to take all this out of the machine, okay? So I'm just cleaning this really good to lift it up because I want the lint to come up. I don't want to try to dig it in there. All right, so I want to try to just lift it up and clean up as much as I possibly can. Now I'm gonna tell you something. At this step, what a lot of people do, and they shouldn't, okay, I've gotten in trouble by the guy that does the maintenance on my machine for this. You will get an itch, and I call it the itch, where you're gonna come out and you're gonna say, oh, I want to take a spray can, right? That's what you're gonna say. You're gonna be like, oh, let me take a spray can, and I could just take the spray can and go choo choo choo. But what happens is when you do that, the dust actually gets more ingrained in the arm. So then what happens is Justin, when he comes and he does the maintenance, he does unscrew all of this because the machine's like literally like naked, right? All it is just the wires and everything. And he takes a vacuum and he vacuums the whole thing. But I can tell when I use the spray can, because what happens is when he takes all of this part off of it, then what happens is you're going to see a bunch, like a clunk of lint. It actually looks like cotton balls, and it's going to be right in here in the arm. So it's not good for your machine. So you don't want to do that, right? So you always want to make sure that you clean it out really, really good. And when you're cleaning it out, you want to go, and then you want to up. You want to lift it up because you want to be able to take the dust out of here, okay? You don't want to leave anything, okay? So once you have it really nice and clean, and you want to make sure that, like I said, don't do the spray can. You're going to be tempted to do that, but don't do it. There you go. Then you just put it back together, and it's really easy. Then all you have to do is just put this part, okay, that came in. You put it exactly where it is, and it does show you how to put it in. You just put it on there. There you go. And then you just take this plate and you're just going to put it back. Okay. There you go. And then once you have it in there, just take the screws and you put the screws back in there, and then you're golden, and then you're good. You got all of this. Now, let's see. I'm going to push this right back in. All right. So okay, I got this one in, and then I'm going to get the other one in there. And you want to put it in tight, okay? But you don't want to do it like so super tight that, you strip it and stuff like that. But, you want to make sure it's in there, okay? So, takes a little work. It's a little hard because I'm kind of like in a different position. I'm usually would be in front of it. Let me see if I can just move you guys a little bit so that way I can actually like do this and work it. Okay, so there you go. Okay, it's a little bit better. So I'll just go ahead and tighten this up here. And then once this is good, and then this is good too. Make sure it's nice and tight. That's super duper tight, like I said, but you want to make it as tight as, you want to make it good, secure. I guess that's the word I'm looking for, secure. You want to make sure it's nicely secured. Let's see. I don't have it in there. Okay, there you go. All right, this is good. All right, so now that I have that in there, right? Now what I'll do is let's talk about the bobbin case, okay? Now there's a little trick on this bobbin case that I want to show you guys. And let me see if I can get a business card. I can't find nothing today. Okay. I know I have them in here. There they go. All right. Man, I'm on a roll. Okay, so I got the business cards. Now let me show you something that was shown to me, okay? And I'm going to try to do it as close to the camera as possible because I want you guys to go. So, excuse me. I'm going to stand up so that way you guys can see, okay? because I want you guys to see this. So this is the bobbin case, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to take out the bobbin, okay? And what I'm going to do is in there, there's dust, right? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to take this and I'm just going to clean this out. Sorry, guys. All right, there we go. So I'm just cleaning this out. Now, there's a portion in here that I want to show you guys, which is this slit that's right here, okay? This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a credit card, okay? Oh, I know the camera's pretty bad. Okay, so I'm going to slide it in here. Hold on. I got to position myself correctly. All right. Do you see it? Take the credit card, slide it in, and push it out. Now, there is something that I want you to see. Look at the bottom of that credit card. Do you see that lint? Do you see that? That's lint right there. That was just pushed out by putting that credit card in there. Okay, so you want to get rid of that because that can mess you up. Okay, so let's put that in there. I'm sorry, guys. See how the lint is? Okay, you see that? All I did was take not a credit card, sorry. Take a business card, okay? That's, good. You're going to slide it inside here. And all you're going to do is slide it in, okay? And then when you slide it, you go in and out a couple of times. And then I want you to see the lint that came out, okay? So that's how you clean that, okay? So you want to clean that out. Now I'm just going to take my brush and I'm just going to brush it off. And I know that that's clean, okay? So that's something that Justin taught me and stuff, because he says sometimes that can, it gets really dirty in there and it can mess you up. Okay, all right. So once you have this cleaned, then you can go ahead and you oil that, and then you can put this back in. So I use the magnetic bobbins, okay? It has the magnetic part. That's what I like about this, is that you always, you will never make a mistake as to how to put this back in, right? So you will take the magnetic part and you just put it in here, and then you just feed it. You go through the little slit, okay? You go through the slit, and then, you go up and around, and there you go, okay? All right, so I'm not going to put it in the machine yet because we're going to oil. All right, so where's my oil? Okay, I know I got my oil somewhere. Hold on. Now I got to get my oil, and I think I have it over here. Oh, that's great. Okay. I always have to get a little bit better organized, Jeanette. All right, so, I am organized. The oil was in the thing. All right, so I got my little pencil of oil, and I do like this one because of the point, okay? So now the thing is, Justin said he doesn't like these because it has the silver thing, right? So he says sometimes what happens is you don't really see the amount of oil that you're putting in. But the thing is, to me, it's like if you turn it and you just squeeze it gently, so that way for sure you're getting one drop, okay? So in order for me to oil this, right, and this is the Brother PR 1055. Okay, hold on. I go in here in the settings, and there's that bottle with the oil on it. So I click that, hit okay, and then what it does, it kind of positions the hoop so that I can go ahead and oil it, right? So then I just oil it, and I just put one drop. That's it. Okay. And then I'll put my bobbin back in, okay? That's how I do that. Okay. All right. So let's talk about these needles. Okay. I've already changed out my needles. Now the thing is, these needles do have like a little screw, and sometimes those screws get stripped. However, though, one of the things that I highly recommend that you do, okay, is you can buy spare parts. So, like, remember what I was telling you earlier about sometimes a screw, you don't want it to get stripped or something like that because maybe you like, forced it too much or something, or things get old. So what I usually do with those little screws that are in the needle bars to hold the thing, you can buy extras. So what I did was I went and I bought 20 extras of these, right? And they come in little packs like this. They're not that expensive, really. But these are the little screws, okay? And then what I do is I just have them handy because sometimes, because you I change the needle so often, sometimes they will strip. Okay. Because you want to make sure that you have that nice and tight when you put in the needle. You don't want the needles to fall out when you're in the middle of embroidery. So sometimes, because of all the changing of the needles that I do, because I kind of do change the needles in my machine about every week. Okay. So I do change them a lot. And then also, depending on heavy seasons and stuff like that, and depending on the project that I'm working on, I sometimes have to change my needles very often. And I've been getting a lot of bulk orders lately. So usually what I'll do is when I have a bulk order, I will definitely change those needles. And sometimes I'll change them while I'm embroidering the bulk orders, because after 8 hours of sewing, your needles can get kind of dull. So because of the needles going in and out all the time, I always end up buying these extra screws, and I do use them. I mean, there have been times when notice that the screw is like no longer, good. It kind of gets stuck on a screwdriver and stuff like that. So I will just go ahead and replace them. So it's a good thing to have that handy. And I think, if I remember correctly, I believe it was, I don't know if it was Sewing Machine Plus or Sewing Parts Online, something like that, where you could get these parts, okay, and stuff. But it's always a good idea to just, you don't have to buy like a whole lot. You could just buy several and then just keep them in like a drawer. Like, I have this drawer right here, okay, and that's usually my tool drawer, and I have all my tools in here, and I have all my extra spare parts and everything. So whenever I need to change something, I know it goes right in here. I have all my tools together in there. Okay. So it's not a bad idea to do that, because especially if you're running your machines a lot and you don't want to have a screw or a certain part go bad on you when you're in the middle of doing a bunch of orders, right? You want to be able to just fix it right away and then just, keep going. Okay. So another thing also is, one of the things that I do, okay, and I'll show you guys. You can sometimes accumulate dust on the needles as well. Okay. It doesn't really hurt anything, but I always just, when I'm changing my needles out, I always take a brush, and then I will just gently just, go like this, and it'll just take the lint out, and it'll get on your brush and stuff, because I just kind of like everything to be clean. So I just usually go like this, okay? Now, sometimes people ask me, do you oil your needles, right? I don't mostly oil them. I do know that some people do oil them. You can if you want to. I will oil it if I notice that it's extremely like noisy, right? As you own these machines, you really start to learn their personalities, and you kind of know what is the good sounds and what is a bad sound, right? So sometimes if I notice that it's doesn't really sound normal, it's really hard to explain, but you get to know your machine, you really do. And when you start noticing that maybe it looks like it's struggling a little bit, that's when you may want to go ahead and say, okay, let me just add some oil to the needles. All right. So how would you go about doing that? Well, you could get one of these, or whichever, you got to make sure you use machine oil also. Okay. Make sure that whatever oil you get, you're not getting, get sewing machine oil. The oil for sewing machines. There's a lot of different oils out there. I've heard people use some really crazy stuff too. You don't want to do that. Okay. You don't want to mess up your machine. So use sewing machine oils. So what you do is, I'm not going to do it because they're fine, but you would bring down your needle. Okay. And in here, there is like a little felt pad. Okay. You'll see the felt pad. So what you do is you just take this and you put a drop on top of the felt pad tab. Okay. And then you can just go like this a little bit if you want. It's no big deal. You will notice though that not all of these go down. Okay. You would think that you could go to each of them and they're all going to go down. You're eventually going to come across one that may not go down. Like, see, like this one. This one's not going down. The other ones are. What you do is change your needle position, okay? And it'll eventually will release it. See, like some will go down, some won't. But you just move the machine back and forward, and then you'll eventually get there, and then you'll just be able to put a drop of oil on top of the felt that is on here. Okay. Do not soak it. Okay. Now one of the things that Justin told me also is sometimes people don't like doing that because they feel like it'll mess up those felt pads. Those felt pads they do last a long time. And if you do take your machine in on an annual basis for servicing, or if you have someone come and service your machine, they should have extra felt pads. And when they look at your machine, they'll look to see if any of those felt pads look damaged or cracked or anything like that, and they'll replace them for you because that's part of the service. Okay. So that's that's how we do this. So now I know a lot of you guys don't, some of you guys may not have this, but let's talk about the single needle too, because I want to talk to you guys about the single needle. And I haven't even cleaned my single needle in quite some time. So let's talk about that. So let's switch over a little bit over here. Okay. And let me try to bring you guys over here. Let me unplug you here. All right, cool. So here we are at my SC1900. So let's talk about this a little bit. I'm going to turn this on and then I'll have to turn off the light because I think I have the light on in this. So let me turn off the light because I know you guys get like a glare. So let me go over here and turn off the light. There you go. Off. There you go. Okay. All right. So how would you go ahead and maintain this? Okay, now I did see someone on Facebook came and they kind of like posted, hey, do you oil the SC1900? No, you do not. You don't have to oil this machine at all. As a matter of fact, they advise that you don't. Okay, the thing is they will do all the oiling and anything that the machine needs when you go to take it in annually for its maintenance. Okay. Now, if you just have a machine like this, all it is really is just lifting it up, taking it to your car and taking it to the sewing shop, right? It's not really a big deal, right? It is usually a big deal when you got those big machines like the ones we were just looking at, because those are very, very heavy, okay? And, we're kind of old, all right? So we're not going to be walking up and down stairs with all these heavy machinery, right? So that's why I have somebody come to the house and do the maintenance on those, right? But at the same time, whilst he's here, he actually does the maintenance on this machine as well. And they also, he does the same thing. He strips it naked. He, and he vacuums it and everything, right? But that's on an annual basis. So what do we do when we have this and we're using it all the time? Okay. So what you're going to want to do is, you're going to want to, I take out this part right here. Okay. And then what I like to do, okay, is right here, you will take out your bobbin, okay? And then there is this little thing right here where I have to push, and then I just pull this out, okay? And then this comes off, all right? Now in here, I have a bobbin case, okay? So I take that out, and as you can see, I have lint on my bobbin case on here. So what I will do is I will go ahead and I will take my brush, and I'm just brushing all the lint off of it, okay? And I do it in the back also. The back lays in there, and you'll see there is a lot of dust in here. So, you know. Now, sometimes people ask me also, what happens if I don't clean this? Well, your machine will eventually not work well, okay? Because what's going to happen is the lint starts to build up, and it'll start looking like a cotton ball. That's how I learned that you got to clean these machines, because when I first got my sewing machine, I didn't know that you had to clean them out. So I'm going to tell you something. I was sewing like crazy. I was sewing with batting and all these different materials until it has stopped. Um, no, I don't cut it off. I leave it on. You could turn it off if you want to, be Berlin. Um, yeah, but you could shut it off, but I don't, cuz see what happens is you get that little error message. It says there's no plate cover attached or needle plate. But for safety reasons, you should kind of shut it off. But I'm good. But you know what? All right, I won't. I'll shut it off. I don't want to get you guys nervous, okay? But it is true. It's good practice to shut it off. Okay, so I'm going to shut it off. All right, so I already cleaned this out. Now, I don't know if you guys can see. I'm gonna try to see if you guys can see. I can't zoom you guys in, but this is the area in here that you're gonna see a lot of the lint accumulate. I already have lint in here, and I want to get another brush because I want you guys to see the amount of lint that I pick up from there. Okay. Um, okay, hold on. I got one that is just a little bit skinny. Okay. I'm going to use this brush. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in there and I'm going to lift up the lint. So I'm just taking the brush and I'm going around. And I want you guys to see what I just got. All right. I don't know if you guys saw that. Look at all that lint that I just lifted up. Okay. So all that is from sewing. Okay, so you want to make sure you get rid of all this stuff. Okay, so and this was just one little swipe. Okay, so as you can see, I'm going to go in and I'm going to swipe all the way around, and what I'm trying to do is capture. Look at all this. See? Okay. So, and I'm putting it on my shirt. So as you can see, this is all the lint that I've collected from there. So what you want to do is you want to go in here and you want to pick it up. You want to pick it up. You don't want to blow it in there. Okay? That's another thing. Some people they're like, "Oh, let me just get an air can and start blowing it in." When you get an air can, the air is blowing out, and then what happens is this lint is going to go all inside in there. You don't want it to go in there, okay? When you have the person come or you take it to the sewing shop, they will go ahead. Look at that, more. See? They will put the vacuum in there and they will take all that stuff out. Yeah, so yeah. So you want to clean this out. as much as you possibly can. Okay. Now, do I go ahead and put oil in here? No, don't put oil. All you want to do is just take the lint out. Okay. Now, how often should you do this? Honestly, if I were you, I would, depending really on how much sewing you're doing. Okay. I, if you sew every day, I would do it every day before you go to bed. That way when you get up, you have a nice clean machine to start sewing. Okay? So there. Now I got this all clean. All right. So now that I have it all cleaned, okay? That's all I do. I already cleaned this. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put this back in, okay? And remember, you have this little triangle, and the triangle goes with the little white dot. So you just put your little case back in there. Okay. Once your case is in there, then you can take this, push this right back in. There you go. You can take your bobbin. I don't have too much thread on here, but that's okay. Take the bobbin, put it back in. There you go. Put your little cover back in, and you're good to go. It's that easy. And then you can take this and you can put this back in here. And then you're good to go. And then you can turn it back on, and then you can just think. But it's, look at all this lint that I got. See? So shirt's dirty anyway. I gotta do laundry. Look at that. Lint everywhere. So yeah, so that's that's how I clean that. I have also heard of people taking like floss and putting it through where the thread goes on the machine. Like they take some dental floss that's not waxed, okay? And they will run it through where the thread goes, and then they will pull it out to try to clean some of this stuff. Oh, thank you, Margot. I appreciate the super chat. Thank you. Um, you can do that if you want. Be very gentle though when you do that, because when you got to remember, you don't want to mess up anything. Okay. Now, have I done that? Yeah, I have run a little floss and put it through there to clean it out. I have done that. Okay. Now, always make sure also that you change your needle, and remember the type of needle size that you use is going to be depending on what you're working on. If you're sewing, or quilting, you're going to want to use the appropriate size needle for that. If you're going to do embroidery, I recommend a 7511. But if you are doing embroidery with very small fonts, and that's when I would say use a 1665-9. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so this is really honestly one of the things that I really do love about this machine, is probably why I will never get rid of it, is that this is like so extremely low maintenance. It really, really, truly is. I mean, it's just go in there, clean the lint out, and you're good to go. And then once a year, take this to your sewing machine shop, and they will literally, I will tell you, like when Justin comes and he does all my machines, he takes all the covers off, and you're gonna see your baby so naked. It's gonna be like, oh my God, they take out all the plastic, and wherever there is lint, they have a vacuum, and they just go ahead and they suck it all out. You know what I'm saying? So it's fine. So you just want to make sure that you clean this area and that it's lint free. Okay. Now, I don't sew every single day, but I know some folks do. They love to sew. Like my sister, she is a sewist. She really does. She loves to quilt. She likes to do paper piecing and all that kind of stuff and everything. I'm more of an embroiderer. So when it comes to the embroidery machines, that is like full time, right? So I'm always doing the maintenance on that. So as you could see, right from the beginning when we're talking, a lot of maintenance, more maintenance goes into the multi-needle machines than it really does on something like this, right? Because here you're only worried about one needle, you're only worried about one small area. So all it is just taking the lint out of that. And there's no oiling for this machine, okay? However, though, when we start talking about these babies right here, okay, these monsters, they actually require a whole lot more, because then what happens is you have to oil them, and sometimes it's not just oiling it in one place. You may want to oil all the needles. Then it's changing all the needles, okay? And then also opening up that arm and making sure that you get all those threads, because sometimes what happens is when those machines are, cutting the thread as you're embroidering, sometimes a little piece of that thread kind of stays stuck in those arms. That's why it's a good idea to go ahead and open those arms. Now, do you have to open them every night? No, you don't. Okay. I usually open up each of these arms at least once a week. Okay. And I take all of any threads and lints that I see inside of those arms. Then I just close it up. And then I won't open it up for another week. The changing of the needles, depending on the amount of the embroidery that you're doing, okay? It's the holiday season. So I'm gonna tell you something. These machines have been working nonstop. All of them, all three of them have been working like crazy, okay? My stepson started a business, and he needed some embroidery done. So I did his bulk order, okay, because it's family. So, but I am not taking any more bulk orders until January, and I'm already filled up January and February. Now, any new orders that I get that are bulk, they're gonna have to wait for March, because January and February kind of filled up already. Because I do schedules. So these things, because they work a lot, I have to change the needles. Right now is getting to the point where I'm changing the needles every 2 days or every day. Okay. A lot of times it's every day, especially if I see that there's one particular needle number that is working more than the others. Okay. So I kind of change them all, which is why I say, depending on what you have, right? That will depend. That will talk about the type of supplies that you're gonna buy, right? So usually, and I'm gonna talk to you guys a little bit about maintenance also, and things that I do to help. Hold on, got on a wire here. Let me share some of the things about maintenance as well. Okay. So here, I'll show you my drawer here. All right, so look down here. As you can see, I always keep my supplies, okay, of all my needles. All right, I always try to have at least 5 boxes of each size. My most popular size is this one, which is 65.9. Okay, this is what I use for the small fonts. And then, of course, my 75.11. Now, if you notice, these boxes have a check mark on them, okay? And I'm going to tell you why I do that, okay? The thing is, you really need to know how much supplies you have in your shop. So the last thing you want to do is be randomly opening up boxes, taking out needles, and then putting them back on, because then what happens is you never have a true indication of how much supplies you have. Okay. So what I usually do is when I open up a box, I automatically put a check mark on top of the box. The reason why I do that is because I know that this box has already been opened and I've already started using needles from this box. Then what I do, because sometimes what happens is I will have, like for instance, each envelope has 10 pieces. Okay. My machines, these two behind me, are 10 needles each. So right away, I know one envelope, and that's if I change all 10 needles, is going to take a whole pack of this, right? But let's look at my 6th needle, which is right over here. This has 10. I'm only going to use 6. That means I'll have 4 left over in here. So what I do is I put a check mark on the actual envelope. And then I take that, okay, whatever is left in here, I take that and then I just put it in the box that has that check mark. The reason why I do that is so that the next time I go to change my needles, I'm going to open the box that has the check mark because I know that this is a box that I've already started utilizing the needles from. Okay. All the other boxes that I have in there have not been opened yet. So that means that those are brand new, fully packed boxes. Okay. So that means there's 100 needles in here. Okay. There's 10 envelopes, 10 needles each. And there's no check mark. So I haven't even opened this box. So I have 100 in here. Okay. In here, I have less than 100. Okay. Because I've already opened it. I have the check. And then I also put the check mark on the envelope that I've already opened. Okay. So when I go and look through here, and if I see the other envelopes and the other envelopes don't have a mark on them, that means that this envelope will contain 10 needles. If I go in here and I pick this one up, that means there's less than 10. It's been something that I've already used. Now, I won't really know till I really open it up. Maybe I'll have 4 in there. Maybe I'll have 1, 2, whatever. You know what I mean? But I already know. So that's how I keep organized with my needles. Okay. Now, Marlene, you asked, where do I always get my needles from? I always get them from All Stitch. Okay. I do get them from All Stitch. But I buy bulk at a time. Okay. So when I do order from All Stitch, the only thing that I don't like is that they only offer free shipping. They used to offer it more often before, but I think they used to do the free shipping when you had like 125, right? But I think now they upped it and you have to spend like $175 for free shipping. But that's all right. So this is usually what I do, okay? When I start seeing that I'm down to like 2 boxes of each size or whatever, when I see that my needles are really low, then I'll go on All Stitch, and then what I do is I buy the bulk, right? I'll say, okay, I need 5 boxes of this size, 5 boxes of the other size, and then I keep my stash, you know what I mean? And then at the same time that I'm replenishing my needles, I go ahead and I replenish any type of the Madeira thread that I'm running low on. That's usually how I do that. Okay. But I wanted to share this method that I do because it's really, really helpful, because sometimes what happens is people will have a whole bunch of boxes in their drawer, like this, right? And then they'll just take anything and they'll open it, they'll use it, they'll put it back. And then what happens is you're under the impression that, oh, I got 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 400 needles. Well, you know what? You may not have 400 needles, because if you don't check the one that you opened up, you could end up having 5 here, 10 here, 30 here, 40 here, and you really don't know. Okay, so it's a good way to keep them. Okay, so that way you know exactly how many needles you have and when you are running low. It's nice, it's neat, and you keep your inventory. Okay, now the other thing that a lot of people ask me about is, Jeanette, what do you do with your old needles, right? When you go ahead and you change them out, what do you do with them? All right, well, unfortunately, we're at a time where I don't think there is a household in America that someone's not taking some. Okay. So what I usually do is I don't take any meds. Me personally, I know I'm one of the odd ones, but I don't take any medicines or anything like that. But my husband does. And one of the things that I tell him is, don't throw away some of your pill bottles, right? So what I'll do is I'll rip off his information, And then I'll just collect the pill bottles, and then I'll usually have like 10 handy, something like that. And then I'll tell him when I'm running out, and then he'll start saving them for me again, whatever. All the old needles, as I change them out, I put them in here, okay? And then when this is full, then I throw them in the trash. The reason why I do this is because you don't want to throw needles in the trash, because I don't know. I'm always thinking like, what if you pick up the bag and then a needle pops through, and or somebody picks up the bag and the needle goes through and then it hurts them, right? And I don't like needles thrown all over the place. So I feel like this is a good, safe way for you to dispose your needles and no one gets hurt and stuff like that. And you know, this is pretty good. I can put like almost 100 or 200 needles in one of these things. And then when we're good and it's time for me to discard it, when this gets really heavy or it gets full, then I'll just like make sure it's super shut. And then I just throw it in the trash, and then I'm good, and then I'll just go get another one, and then I'll put it in here and in my drawer with my other needles. And whenever I'm changing them out, I put them in here. I think this is like a really cool, awesome way to do that. Okay. Now, there's another tip that I want to give you. One of the things that I did was I went to the General Dollar or the dollar store. I don't know what they call it, and they should call it $1.25 if you ask me, because the prices are going up. So anyway, but I went and they had like a little crafting section, something like that over there, and they were selling like these little jars, right? And I was like, oh, I could use these, right? So I went and I just bought one pack. So as you can see, I have like a little label in here, and it says like 65.9, right? So the 65.9 needles, I use them for when I'm embroidering very small, fine fonts, right? And sometimes what happens is I could have just one item that has a small font, and I don't have to really, it's just change the needle, use it, and then I just use the needle once, right? I didn't use it for a very long time. So to me, I'm like, I don't want to take that needle and throw it in the trash because I used it for 5 minutes, right? That doesn't make sense, right? You want to keep it. So what I do at the same time, though, I don't want to take that needle and put it back in the box, okay? Because it's no longer a new needle. It's actually a used needle, right? So what I'll do is I'll take this little container, and then if I have needles that I know I had in the machine for only 5-10 minutes, I didn't have it for a very long time, then what I'll do is I will put the needle in here. And then the next time I need to use a 65.9 needle, instead of grabbing a brand new one, and I knew I only use this one for 5 or 10 minutes or whatever, I'll just take this one and I'll use it. And when it finally gets old, then it'll go from here into here, and then it goes to the trash. That's how I do that. Okay, so I just wanted to share with you guys that and stuff. And then also one of the things that I like to do is all the stuff, my drawer has all the needles. I mean, I know you guys saw these, but I also have like my Swartz needles. I have Swartz needles too. And then I have, I buy my organ needles for my quilting machine. So, I don't have as many of these needles as I do with the 75 11 65.9 needle. It's hot in here, but because I don't sew that much. I bet you if I sold that much, I'd be buying them by the boxes, but I don't. But yeah. So yeah. And then also, now that I'm going through here and I'm looking, another thing also is, how I was talking to you guys about buying spare parts and stuff like that for your machines, like the screws and all that kind of stuff and everything. When you go and you order those extra screws, order extra needle threaders too. When I first got the machine, you only get one per machine, right? So what happens is if you lose it, then you're kind of like, and you can still um thread the machine, but it becomes a pain. It really does. I've gotten used to this. So, and these are very easy to lose because especially like sometimes I'm with all three machines, and sometimes I'll place it by the sixth needle, then I'll place it by this needle, and then I'll place it by this needle, and then next thing you know, I'm like, it's a mess, right? So, and then I could lose this. So I went and I bought like 10 of these, and I have them in my drawer. Haven't lost it yet, but if I ever do lose it, I don't have to panic. I'll be like, fine, I have another 9, so I'll just use that. So yeah, so okay, so there goes that. All right, so I talked about the single needle. We did talk about the arm for the 10 needle, and I did talk to you guys about oiling this. We talked about the needles. I talked to you guys about the screws. Yeah, I think that's it. But I will tell you, it gets a little time consuming with the more machines you have, because as you can see, this, change it. You got to change every single one of these needles individually, right? So it does take time. So, but you come up with your own method and all that kind of stuff, and you eventually learn how to do all this stuff and everything like that. So yeah. So yeah, I think there goes Mello. I was wondering, he's not coming in because thing. So my sewing room is a little bit of a mess because the orders that I've gotten a lot of orders. So yeah, it's been really hectic and stuff. I have finally caught up. I have caught up on all the orders, and let's see. Yep, I'm good. I am good. I am good. Oh my God. Which I'm glad, because I'm going to tell you something. I actually sewed for my Esther gift. Okay. So and I'm a little proud. I'm a little proud of it. It's not a perfect project, but I'm a little proud of it. And I know the person that I'm gifting it to. So I got a feeling they're going to be proud too. So I'm excited. I'm going to be mailing mine out tomorrow morning. Okay. I know they were all supposed to be mailed out today. I got it. And some of you guys have been reaching out to me because you had some trouble finding who it was that you had to mail your stuff to. If you guys are out there and still don't know who you're supposed to be mailing it to and stuff like that, make sure you reach out to me. Because I want to make sure everybody gets their gifts and all that kind of stuff. The show and tell is going to be on the 20th. Yeah, and I'm pretty excited about it because I actually sewed stuff. I mean, they're going to get embroidery too, but I actually did some sewing. So I'm just kind of like, oh, I did some sewing. They didn't come out perfect, but I'm pretty content with how it came out. So I'm kind of like excited about it. So I just have to package it up, which I'm going to do that first thing tomorrow morning. I'm going to package it up. Then I'm going to go to the post office and I'm going to send it off. Whatever orders I get, because I got orders last night and then I got orders this morning. I processed all my orders. I finished my my stepson's bulk order, and that's already on the way. I got a lot of orders for baby blankets today. So I was kind of like, oh, okay, which is fine. Because I love making those. I got a lot of orders for kitchen towels too, the dinner napkins. I was kind of shocked. I was like, wow. But yeah, so and I still have to do some more embroidering because I have my cousin, she's come visit for New Year's. So I want to embroider a stocking with her name on it and put it on our fireplace, and I think what we're gonna do this year, because I want us to open up presents this year, because we don't usually do like holidays because it's just me, Fred, and Cardito. It's just 3 of us, and Cardito's big and all that kind of stuff. But it's actually pretty nice this year because like the last couple of years, we have not like even decorated the house or anything like that, right? So I did mention it to Fred that I was kind of like, sometimes I feel like the house is a little gloomy because we don't do anything, right? We don't like put any trees up or anything like that. So Fred surprised me, and he went online and he found these really beautiful pictures of how people decorate the front of their house, and he was looking for something that was really simple. And I really love the way he did it, so I'll post some pictures on our Facebook group so you guys can see. He just got two little simple nutcrackers, and he got us a wreath for the front of the door, and battery operated. And then I just went and I just bought two trees. And then I talked about, oh, we should get a puppy. So he got me a golden doodle statue and put it by the tree. So I was kind of like, okay. So I don't know if you guys saw the picture of that. I got a picture of Mello sitting next to the golden doodle statue. So and we got a actual pop-up tree. I don't know if you guys have heard of a pop-up tree. My cousin Betty had got one years ago, and she loved it because she said it's one of those that you just like pull up and you put the sticks together, and it's already decorated and it has the lights and everything. You just plug it in. And I was kind of like, And then I looked on Amazon and I saw pop-up trees, and I was like, oh, I want a pop-up tree. So I got one, and it looks beautiful. It really does. It looks nice. I'll put pictures. And I was just like, oh, so I'm kind of like, wow, like the house looks kind of festive. So I'm kind of like, okay. So, but Betty's not visiting until the 30th of this month. So what I want to do is I'm gonna probably like make little gifts for Fred and Cardito, and then like we'll open little gifts on the 25th for Christmas. But then what I want to do is I want to wait for when my cousin comes on the 30th, and then we can really celebrate Christmas with her here. So I'll have like so that's why I want to do the stocking with her name on it. So and then then we'll celebrate Christmas and stuff. I am thinking about going on Amazon and getting us pajamas, because I see that a lot of families like they do the matching Christmas pajamas. So now I'm thinking about doing that too, because I think that would be pretty cool. So yes, I'm pretty excited about it this year, because usually every year it's like I just work, and I'm just like it's okay. But no, this year is it's a little different, so I'm pretty excited about it. All right, guys. So I am going to go through the chat. All right. So I'm gonna sit you guys back. Let me get the wire here. Hold on. I'm gonna plug you guys back in. And I'm going to go through the chat and see if there is do you use flat? I use flat Peggy of the needles. The brand of needles that you get, I get organ needles. That's the ones I like. And then I don't know if you guys see, well, I'm trying really hard to get the place a little organized. I got these little cubes right here. Let me see if you guys can see them. Those little cubes right here. I got them in blue, and I'm trying to be a little neater and stuff. And I love my new little garbage can. That I really love this because this rolls so easy. So whenever I need to toss something out, it's like I could just grab it and roll, which is kind of similar with this. I just kind of like grab and roll when I need something from here. So it's like pretty cool and stuff. But I'm gonna put you guys. Let me move you guys, okay? And then we can chat a little bit. I'm gonna go sit in my regular chair here. And but you know what? I forgot, because I wanted to talk to you guys about tension. Let me talk to you guys about tension a little bit. Because I had to adjust my machine today. Hold on, let me put you guys here. All right, guys. Let me see. Are you a little comfortable? Sorry. All right. Let me talk to you guys a little bit about tension. because I got this here. um, this is another little tip. Um, you know, as you start working on your machines and all that kind of stuff and everything, a lot of times you hear people say, don't touch the tension, don't touch the tension. Well, I agree. You should not have to mess with your tension. However, as time goes on and you start sewing and all that kind of stuff, your tension can get off. It can really, it can go off a little bit. And you better learn how to deal with it. Honestly, you really are, because you're going to have to deal with it, like it or not. And unfortunately, it's usually going to happen at a time when you really need to get your project done, but you really don't understand, how to adjust the tension on your machine. I do have a video of adjusting the tension on your SE1900 on the channel. Okay. On the multi-needle machines, one of the things, there's two ways you can adjust your tension. You can adjust the tension using the knob on the top of the machine, and that's to adjust the tension for the individual needle. Okay. Or you can adjust the tension on the bobbin case. Okay. And the bobbin case, hold on, let me grab one here so you can see. It's very similar to like the bobbin case in your single needle. If you watch that video, you notice that you take out the bobbin case and there's like a little screw that you turn. And always remember, there's that little saying, righty tighty, left loosey goosey, something like that. So if you're turning to the left, you're loosening up the tension. If you're turning it to the right, you're making it tighter. You have to, there's the screw. Okay, it's this one right here. It's the big one. Okay, that's the one that I had to mess with today. Now, the reason why I had to mess with it is because I was embroidering so much on Boricua number 3, which is my third machine. Boricua number 3, I had her like embroidering like crazy. Okay, so it got to the point where my tension got loose, and the way you know that your tension is loose is because this right here. Okay, see the first line? See how much bobbin space you see there? You see that? Okay, right here, this one. That's a very loose tension. Okay, so what I did was I ran the tension test on the 10 needle machine, and I saw that it was very, very loose. So what I did was I automatically stopped the machine, and then what I did was I tightened my bobbin after it had did the first two, because as you can see, look how wide those first two are. See how it is, all that bobbin that you see here and here. Okay, that is very, very loose. Then I went and I tightened it, and then I ran the tension again, and look at the third bar and look at the rest. Okay, now I still see, in my opinion, this one is still a little loose. So I'll probably have to tighten it from the top for this bar. But look at the red, look at the blue, look at the green. That is a perfect tension. That's what you want. Okay. Now on the other machine, look at this tension. Too tight. You want to be able to see something like this. This is what your tension should look like. That green and that blue. Okay. All right. That's how it should look like. All right. Too loose. This means too tight. Okay. So for the machines, I had to adjust my bobbin case and stuff. And for some of the needles, I'm going to have to adjust the knobs. Okay. And stuff. So learn that, guys. You got to learn your tension, because That's important, okay, and stuff, because that can mess up your embroidery. All right, because you don't want the bobbin to show up on the top of your design. Okay, you should be seeing your color thread, um, and stuff, unless you won't notice if you're using the same color uh thread for your bobbin and for your top, but you don't want to do that. You want to make sure that you're embroidering it right, you know. All right, let me see, where's my thing. I do have to clean my room today before I go to bed. I don't like it messy or disorganized and stuff, because when I like to do is when I come to work, when I come in the morning and I turn on the light, I like everything to be clean, organized, everything's in its place, and then I just start working. That's usually how I like to do things. So my desk is a little bit messy because I was writing the thank you cards to customers and all that kind of stuff. So that got a little bit disorganized, but that's okay. Yeah, I'm gonna get everything organized, okay, because I already see a whole bunch of stuff. Like I see my scissors here, um, brush here. I see a lot of stuff that I have to get back put in its proper place and stuff. And I see business cards all over the place and everything. So yeah. And I'm looking around and I'm like, I gotta clean. I really do. And I have to vacuum. I also vacuum every night, because then there's thread that falls on the floor. And I don't like having thread all over my floor and everything like that. Oh, another thing, let me show you guys too. You guys have not seen this. I just recently got this, and I'm going to tell you something. I wish I had gotten it a lot sooner. Okay, this helps a lot. I have to show you guys this. When I run my machines are on the second floor of my house. They're upstairs. And I'm actually using one of the bedrooms as my sewing shop, right? So what happens is sometimes when all my machines are running, okay, first of all, embroidery machines are pretty noisy, and they can shake. There's a lot of movement and stuff like that. And when I'm downstairs, sometimes I could hear it on the ceiling, like you could hear the vibration, right? So I was like, God, I really want to be able to tone that down, right? So one of the things that I did was I decided to try these. So I don't know if any of you guys have a sewing room that's upstairs or something like that, but look at what I got. I got these mats. Okay. I got all these mats. I got them put together. And then one of the things that I did was, for the two 10 needle machines, I have them on here. Okay. So both of my machines, here, let me move this out of the way so you can see. And I'll move this here. There you go. There. And I gotta move this here too. So as you can see, I have both of these on here. So I'm gonna tell you something. So worth it. So worth it. So worth it. Okay. Now, I put them on, and these are just two machines. Okay. The third machine, I don't have it. Okay. I don't have the mat on the third machine, which is the 6 needle machine. But I'm gonna tell you something. When I have all three of these machines running together, you could hear downstairs. It's like you could hear the rumbling, right? And I'm like, it's not good, right? So I went and I bought these mats, and because I went on Amazon and I was looking for like noise resistant mats. And I'm gonna tell you something, they're like put together, you can connect them. Okay. So I just went and I put them underneath the and underneath the embroidery, what a difference. Oh my God. Now, when I go downstairs and I have all my machines running, you don't even hear them. You don't hear them. You don't feel like the ceiling is shaking or anything like that. I mean, it's like it works. I was like, wow. So now I'm thinking about buying more and putting it under the 16 machine, because that way, I mean, even though the 16 machine really doesn't make that much, but just putting it under these two really did minimize the noise a lot. So I just, I forgot to mention that to you guys. So I had gotten that last week, um, and we finally put it together. And then I unlocked it and I moved up the feet. And then all I did was roll the machines out of the way, um, cleaned and everything like that, put the mats down, rolled it back on top of it, then locked my wheels and put down my feet, and I'm golden. I just love it. I mean, it's like, I'm like, wow, they have different colors. I got the black with the little specks of blue on it. I will tell you this: when you first get them, because they are mats, right? They have a kind of like a smell to it, like, rubber smell, but it goes away. The smell goes away. It doesn't stay like that. But I will tell you, they there it was a good buy. So little by little, I'm improving the space a lot. Like, I love this. I saw some of you guys went and got it as well, and you guys are like loving this as well. um God, there's like, you can put so much on here, and I mean, you're talking about a corner. You can turn a corner, and one of the things that I really love about that is the rotating, because it's like a huge lazy Susan, and you just rotate it, and it makes it so much easier too when customers come to the shop, because when they're looking for a particular thread. And what I did was I organized my thread by the color, the family color, right? So it's like I'll have all my blacks, my browns, my blues, my reds, my greens, all of those colors kind of together, the purples, the different purples and all that stuff. So I like it because usually off the bat, when you're dealing with customers, they kind of know what color they want, but it's just so many different shades, right? So they will go in here and they'll go, oh, I want a blue, right? So all I have to do is just rotate it to where I got all my blues, and then I it's like, pick a color, what color do you want, and then that's it. It's like, it's amazing. I love it. I think doing this is actually better than giving them the color card like this. I prefer for the customer to go through here than to go through here, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because here it's in stock. I have it. All right. The only time that I will pull this out is if we are looking at a logo, or if there's a custom embroidery design that we have to work on, and it has to be a particular color. Okay, it's not like, oh, it could be any blue or something like that, right? So if they can't find that actual color in the stash that I have, then I will pull this out, and I will try to match whatever green or blue or yellow, whatever color it is, to the color chart. Then I will pull this out, because this is the problem that I see sometimes when you're dealing with customers and you pull this out. They may end up selecting a color that you don't even have in your shop. And sometimes it's for a onesie or something like that, a little one product or something like that. So I would prefer to pull this out, the chart out, when it's really a custom order and it has to be a particular color. If it doesn't have to be a particular color and they're just looking to put a name on a blanket, or stocking or something, right? Go turn that. And if you don't see anything there, then open up that door and, open up. I have a door right here. They can open up that door. You see, I have a little rack and I have some more little colors in there and I'm good. Okay. So, pick what I have. That's basically what I'm saying. Pick whatever. These are the colors that I have. These are your choices. Yeah. So but I wanted to tell you guys about the mat because that really made a difference on the noise level. Um, because it can, what you don't realize is sometimes when you're embroidering, you might love it a lot, but it can really be, annoying to those around you, just something to think about, which is why I if I'm embroidering and I have to embroider way at night, I know my husband's asleep in the other room. So what I'll do is I'll make sure I close the door to his room and to my room to try to minimize the noise. But he does go to sleep with headphones on. So I think that does help a little bit. But also, like, during the day, if you are upstairs and you're running a bunch of machines like I do, and then, you hear the rumblings and everything, and people are downstairs, they're, because there have been times when my son's, at the table, and then, the machines are like rumbling, and he would be like, like, ooh, that's loud, and you would hear that. And you want to kind of contain that as much as you can. You know what I'm saying? So the mats really did help. They made a huge difference. I was like, wow. I was like, okay. And then I even was thinking, because I bought the mats and then I was thinking, am I going to have to double up on the mats to really reduce the noise? Nope. Those mats work great. And I love it. And I'm like, oh, so now I'm thinking about buying maybe I don't know, maybe 2 or 4 more. I don't know. And maybe cover the side where the 6 needle machine is. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I'm pretty happy with the way it is now, honestly, because I feel like it has cut down the noise so much. So I'm pretty content with that. But yeah, we'll see, and stuff. But yeah. So all right. So let me go down the chat, and I'm sure that you guys have questions about some of the stuff that I was talking about and everything, because I did see some questions about where I get my needles, the brand that I use, and all that kind of stuff. And you guys know I'm open. I have no problem telling you guys where I get all my stuff. It's I'm thinking, did I miss anything? Well, if you guys have questions, you guys will let me know. Okay, so anyway, guys. So I already saw Marlene. I saw Robin. Hey, Leslie. How you doing? Hey, Nancy. How are you? Hi, Tammy. I see Jackie. Hey, Emma. Hey, Robin Quilt Basket. Hey, Miss Miller. How you doing? I think it's not Cheetah Miller. Let's see. Everyone's saying hi. Hey, JLC Crafts, how you doing? Hey, Arlene, how are you? Hey, Gail, how you doing? I see Gail out there. I see Bubba J1000. Hey, Iris, how are you? Hey, Leslie, how's my buddy doing? Hey, Joyce, how are you? I see Deborah. Let's see. Hey, Miss Fake, how are you? Hey, Becky, Baby Giant. Hey, Miss Banks, how are you? Hi, Beth, how you doing? Angela and Stitches. Oh, God, yes. She said, I heard so many times, do not use a spray can to clean the bobbin case. No, no, no. Yes. I mean, and I ain't gonna lie, you guys, I used to do it, okay? When I first got the machine, right? Because I was like, the brush takes so long, whatever. Just take the spray can and go shoo, 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 and that's it. And you see all the dust like go up in the air, right? You see all the lint go up in the air. So I was like, oh, nobody's gonna know and stuff like that, right? Well, it was like so funny because then like my time for servicing came, And Justin was like, "You don't use the air spray, right?" And I'm like, "Nope, I don't use that." And I think because he saw it in the room, so he was kind of like, "She's using it," and he goes, "You don't use it?" And I'm like, "Nope." So he opened up my machine, and then what happened was all the way in the arm, you see like a big clunk of lint, and then he opened it, he looked at it, then he looked at me, and I was like, "I only use it sometimes." So he was like, "Don't use the hair can. Don't use it. Don't even put it in the room." That's what he was telling me. Don't even have it in the room because then it'll be tempting. And he went on to explain that it could be a safe hazard too. It can really damage your machine. It really truly can. He said, when all that dust goes in, and it can really mess with the rest of the wires and all that kind of stuff, and then you could end up with more problems with your machine, and all because you decided that you didn't want to spend the time brushing it, right? And then it's going to cost you more in the long run. So when he explained it like that, I was kind of like, you know what, um I'm going to just stick with my brushes. So I do not use the spray can at all. I stopped it, because I mean, I was kind of like, not doing it." So, yeah, but everybody says that, and it's true. Don't use a spray can. It's not good. It really, truly isn't. Um, hey, Melissa, how are you? Um, hey, Allison, how you doing? Um, Bet this video is perfect for me. I have a brother single needle hoping to buy a barely used 10 needles fingers class if I can get it after I test it out. Oh, that's awesome. Congratulations. And there are so many people, and I'm glad that you're buying a gently used one, because I will tell you, there are so many people out there that are selling their embroidery machines, because I think there is a shift that is happening. I think what's going on is that a lot of people, during the pandemic, they were like, "Oh, this is a good way to earn some extra money," and then they started buying all these machines. Well, people are now starting to go back into the office, and some people that have bought machines are starting to really find out that this is really not as easy as you see, because what happens is, you sometimes you see, like with me, like when I see a sewing video, like I see somebody take something and sew it, they make it look so easy, right? Okay, well, give Jeanette some fabric, a scissor, and a sewing machine, and I can jack up a project real quick. Okay, you can ask my sister, because sometimes she'll just shake her head and she'll be like, "You need to stick with what because I cannot sew straight." I mean, it's like cutting fabric. I mean, I remember once Miss Banks laughed at me because I told her, "Hey, I wanted to make a shirt." And I told her that I bought a pattern, and I opened it up, and I remember she cracked up because I told her, I said, "It really takes a long time just to cut the fabric. It's like, just to cut the fabric takes the whole day." And she started giggling because she was like, "Yeah, Jeanette, it does." Because it does. It takes a long time. And I guess I'm one of those that I can kind of be impatient in a way, because I just want to make it. And I think with embroidery, it's a little more fast paced, or at least the way I do it, right? Because I've been doing it for so long. So it's like I know how to design something real quick and then just stabilize it, hoop it, and stitch it out. Um, but sewing to me is like a whole other thing, because it's like you gotta like get the pattern right, and you gotta figure out the pattern, and you gotta pin the pattern to the fabric, or put the fabric weights on there, right? I learned that the hard way too, to use fabric weights and pin the fabric to the actual pattern, because then what happens is when you're cutting it and you're moving the fabric around, you kind of misalign it, and then you didn't really cut it the way it was supposed to be. That's what I'm saying. It's not my thing. So yeah. So I think what's happening now is a lot of people are, abandoning their machines because, and I go on Facebook on Marketplace sometimes, and I just type in embroidery machines near me, and you will find people just selling them. Some of these machines barely used, brand new. Some of them people just got a year ago or 2 years ago. However, though, sometimes when I see the prices that they're asking for the some of these machines, I'm kind of like, it's a little high for a used machine because I know how much I could pay for a brand new machine. But, but then again, you can always negotiate, Um, if they really want to get rid of the machine, they will lower the price and stuff. But I'm glad that you're going to test it out and everything like that. I would also ask them, Beth, how often did they service the machine? And stuff. But to be honest, though, I mean, the way I see it, like if I was to buy a used machine, I would just, I would do like you, like I would like to see a stitch out. I want to test it, um, and stitch it out. And then I would bring it home. And then after I bring it home, I would have Justin come in and do the maintenance on it and stuff like that. I have been toying with the idea of getting one more machine. Um, you know, yeah, I'm thinking about one or two more machines. I'm not sure yet. I think right now with what I have, I'm gonna stay put for a little bit because I don't, I'll probably revisit that idea once I retire, and then I'm gonna do this on a full-time basis because well, I have been doing a lot of bulk orders. And when I'm working on the bulk orders, I have all three machines running. And what goes through my mind is if I had one or two more machines, I could get those bulk orders done a lot faster. That's the one thing, though. I mean, that is for sure. The more machines you have, the faster you can process these bulk orders. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see what I'll do. I don't know. We'll see. Um, let's see. Bobbin says, Bob says it looks brand new. It's unbelievable. Well, I will tell you this. I do maintenance on these machines on a nightly basis, Bob. I mean, it's like I have a routine. I do have a routine with how I run this shop. After I process all the orders, then what I do is I do my cleanup time. Cleanup time means that I actually go to every single machine. I clean out all the lints. I clean out my bobbin cases. I put fresh bobbins in there. I take the old bobbins that still have thread on there and I put them in like a little jar. And usually, the reason why I like to have fresh bobbins in there is because sometimes when you're running orders and stuff like that, you you want to you want them to keep going, right? Because when you run out of thread, the machine stops and you got to put in a new bobbin. I prefer to use my old bobbins when I'm working on projects for me, when I'm working on new samples and all that kind of stuff. When I have a lot of orders, I got to keep the machines going. So I clean my bobbins, I mean, all the time. I mean, these machines get cleaned every night. Um I heard my phone thing. I think it clicked or something. I don't know. Where is it anyway? Oh well. Hey, okay. Let's see. Oh well. All right. Sorry, I get distracted. That's what it is. Get distracted a lot. Okay, so whoever it is, I guess I'll just have to wait. All right. So let me see. Let's keep going down. Hey Jacqueline Craft Expressions, how are you? Hey Jackie. Hey Brenda, how are you doing? Hey Debbie White, how are you? Angela, I keep a log of which needle I changed out and the date. That's another good, yep. That's another good way of doing it. And so I'm telling you, just have to find the way that's really best for you. There's a lot, I'm not saying, there's a lot of different ways to do things. My whole thing is you got to be organized. You got to make sure that you're very well organized. But I like that idea about logging it, because you know what? Angela, you know what goes through my mind is, remember when I was telling you guys about when I have like a small project and I have to use a 65-9 needle, and sometimes I'm just using it for like 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, right? So I'll just go ahead and I'll just take the needle and I'll put it in that little tube, and then I'll put it in there, and then I know that that's one that really hasn't been used for like a whole 8 hours, so I could reuse it, right? I like that idea of the logging, because a whole week or a whole month or whatever time lapse, I can easily forget how long did I sewed with that needle. You know what I'm saying? But if I had a little log, like you're saying, put the log and stuff, I can always go into that too, and I'll know that that needle has 7 hours left of life, or 7.5 hours, or 6 hours, or whatever, right? And I'll remember when was the last time I used this stuff. So I really like that idea, and I think I'm going to start using that. I really do like that. Hey Terry, how you doing? Hey Peggy, how are you? Um, hey Deborah. Hey Thrifty Nichols, how are you? Um, let's see. Hey Martha, how you doing? Hey Burino, how are you? Um, hey Margot, how are you? Um, what's the size of the polo bag we'll use for a bath towel? Um, don't know the question. Okay. Hey Margot, thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate it. Let me see. Don't use spray lubricants unless you apply them to specific locations in controlled amounts. You can easily overdo it and ruin the machine. Yes. And I'm going to tell you something, Bob. I got talked to about that too. Okay, so Justin was looking at my Juki machine. I was oiling that baby too much. Okay, when he took that machine apart, there was a puddle of oil at the bottom of the machine, of the cover of the bottom machine. And he was like, when he opened it up, he saw it. He was like, Jeanette, what are you doing? And I was like, what? I was like, I'm oiling it. He's like, no, you're oiling this too much. He's like, you're putting like, it's like you're putting gas in a car. I'm like, what are you doing? So he had to school me on how to oil it properly. So it's like Bob said, you got to make sure that you are applying the correct amount at the correct location. Okay, just like he said. Okay, because it I am very grateful that he opened that, because I was like, shoot, if I would have kept going, I mean, I probably would have had a bottle of oil in that machine. I could have messed up my Juki machine. So yeah, he totally correct. One of the things that Justin told me also was that, that oiler that I'm using, he said he doesn't like those because the tip is steel, right? And he showed me what he had, and he had like a bottle, and it had like a clear tube. And he said what he liked about that one was that when he squeezed the bottle, you could see like the air bubble of the oil through the tube. So you know exactly the amount that's being applied. He said the one that I'm using that has that steel tip, he says you really can't see like how the oil spits out of there. So, you can end up over oiling. So he was telling me you just got to be careful when you're squeezing that tube to get out that oil, that you're getting the right amount of oil out of that. You're not overdoing it. You're getting a drop, because that's what you need. So I was kind of like, okay. So now that he told me that, I'm more conscious. So whenever I'm using that, I'm going to make sure. And then when I'm done with that one, I'm gonna buy one very similar to what he uses, because I feel that will help me control the oil a lot better and stuff like that. So I'm gonna use what he's using and stuff. Um, oh, good question. Do you use I do not, but I heard those are very, very good needles. Okay. The titanium needles last longer. They do cost more though. They do cost more. I have thought about switching to those because I do so much embroidery. So I'm thinking maybe it would be better for me to change to those, but I have not used them as of yet, because my stash is still the regular needles. So I think I may, the next time I do a bulk order, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna at least buy one box and see how that lasts, and see how it works. But from my understanding, and you guys let me know if I'm wrong, but I do know that they last longer than the other needles. But I really don't remember like how much longer. I think it's supposed to be double the time. I think so. If a regular needle is eight hours, I think a titanium needle should last you 16. I'm thinking I'll have to Google that and really I'll have to look into it a little bit more. But I have not tried them yet. That I haven't. But I did hear that those are very, very, very good needles. But I've also noticed that they are pretty expensive too. So I don't know. I mean, I have to see. Um, oh, the store I got my Luminaire from has changed owners. A few months ago, I took my machine in for service and they didn't clean a thing. Then what kind of service did you get? Oh my God. Oh, yeah, I don't know about the hubbas though. Okay, so all right. Glad you're so busy. Oh, thank you. I am busy, but I will tell you, it can get kind of really tiring. It can wear on you a little bit, but that's okay. I mean, I know it's temporary. I will tell you this though. I as time goes on, I have been more and more better at getting organized. I think all of this really does take time to learn, especially when you're starting to do it as a business. You're gonna, you're gonna, you're gonna, you're gonna learn shortcuts. You're gonna learn how your processes can improve. On like how you fill orders and all that kind of stuff. So as time goes on, I have been finding more efficient, you know, efficient and effective ways to improve my packaging, to improve how I handle multiple orders, how to run the machines and all that kind of stuff. So things have just been getting better and better. This year, I thought I was going to feel like real crazy, but I'm okay. I feel okay. In the past, I have been like, I will tell you, I was like, oh my God, what did I get myself into? But I feel like I have really I've done a lot better, and I feel like this year has been a lot less stress. Busy, but in a good way. And it's not busy where I feel like um overwhelmed. Now I'm gonna tell you something that happened to me, and this was the first that has ever happened to me. And I was like, I just can't believe this occurred. I was working on a customer order, and it was a customer that placed the order local. And thank goodness, it was she bought kitchen towels from me that I embroidered, and I filled the order, packaged it up, and put it in this little thank you bag. I had several orders from people around the neighborhood, and it was two personalized towels. I packaged it up. I was running up and down the stairs. I'm gonna tell you something. My knees were hurting before. Now I feel great, and I think it's because I'm moving now. I'm like really, literally moving around, and I'm like, okay, I just really need to stop sitting so much and start walking around because now it's like I feel really good. So I'm running up and down the stairs a lot. The doorbell rings, somebody's picking up an order, somebody's dropping off something. I'm going upstairs, checking up on the machines, running stuff and everything. But I got it all under control. I'm in my zone. I'm doing my thing. I don't know how the hell this happened, but it got to the point where I contact the customer and I said, "Hey, your item is ready and I can drop it off." Because sometimes I do drop offs. I don't, sometimes they'll come pick it up, but I don't mind dropping them off to customers either. So the lady said, "Oh, can you come now?" And I said, "Absolutely, I'm coming now." Go downstairs, look at all the bags. I couldn't find hers. I don't know where the heck it went. It's got to be in the house. Where it is in here, I don't know. I'm like freaking out and I'm like, did I give someone their wrong um order? I reached out to my customers. They were like, "Nope, I got it. It's fine." So I was just like, "Where is that bag?" So I asked my husband, I said, "Did you touch a bag?" And he's like, "No, I don't touch anything that's on there because I already know. Because he made the mistake once where he gave customer the wrong order and I had to chase it down and switch the bags. So ever since that, he's like, I ain't touching nothing. And Carlito does the deliveries for me, but he didn't touch it. I mean, because his deliveries are mostly to the post office. So what he does routinely is like at 4 o'clock, he looks at the post office bin that I have downstairs. And when he sees it, he just takes it and drives to the post office, delivers everything, then comes back. Because a lot of times those, I do pickups, right? So the mailman will come in the morning and he'll pick up the packages, but then during the day I'm still processing orders, and I'll put them in the bin. And if Carditos at 4 o'clock sees them, he'll just take the bin. He'll say, "Okay, so the post office doesn't have to pick it up in the morning. I'll just take it in now." So that way we don't have to wait for the next day, right? So, and then if I get in orders in the evenings, then I'll just process those in the evenings, and then I'll just have the mailman in the morning pick them up. You know what I'm saying? So, but I couldn't find the bag. I was like, what the heck? And I'm running everywhere. So I had to call the lady and say, "Hey, I can't find it. No worries. I'm working on, I'll make another set for you." So I had to work late to fill that order again. And then today, before meeting up with you guys at 8, I went straight to her house and I gave her that bag because I didn't want it to disappear again. So I don't know where it is. It's like this is the first time. And I'm like surprised because I'm so organized on how I put the packages on the table. I even like put labels on it, like with the customer's last name, so that when the customers come, and then a lot of times when the customers come and pick them up, I will open the bag to show them their product, so that they can see it. And they leave. I know. And I was like, did someone accidentally leave with the bag? And I'm like, they couldn't have, because I open up the bags for them, show them the products, and then they go with them. So I mean, I would have known, but I was like, did somebody just grab it by mistake or something? But I reached out, nope, and I don't know. That means that bag, I probably packaged it up. I don't know where it is. It's gonna turn up. I know it'll turn up, but if it does, it does. I mean, what can you do? But that was a first for me that ever happened. And I was like, wow. I was like, okay. But it happens. Mistakes happen and stuff like that. So I'm sure that when the holidays are all over and I start to go through my inventory and the bag's gonna turn up. I know it. I already know it. So I don't know. Let's see. Okay. I have a question for Etsy sellers. I received a message through Etsy from a potential customer, and Etsy routed the message to spam. Any reason why? I sent an email to say, I don't know why they would do that. It could be sometimes maybe the name of the customer or something like that. Shoot, now that you got me thinking, maybe I need to check my spam. Maybe I did I miss out on some sales because of some spam? I don't think the messages go through spam. I will tell you this also. I do have no, I don't have anything spam. I do have a I do have a folder that's called of customers that I will not take orders from. Okay. And there's a reason for that. Okay. I There's some people that are really nasty out there. There's some people that you could tell they're trying to scam you and stuff like that. So what I'll do is I will always jot down that person's name, and if they ever try to buy from me again or something like that, it's like I refuse to sell. Like, nope, you're on my poo poo list. That's what I say. So it's like, but no, I have not had that issue. Um Maybe it's their name or something. You would probably have to ask Etsy. I'm sure I'd be interested to see. The potential customer sent that message to lots of people. Oh, it could be that too. Yeah, it could be that that's a like a email that that he's sending to everybody, and it could be maybe you think it's a potential customer, and it could be a scamming customer. So be careful with that, Angela. Um, okay, the needles, like I said, I get them from allstitch.com. The brand that I usually get is Oregon Needles. I like that. There's like Swartz needles also. I mean, those are good brands as well. Swartz is good. Oregon needles are good. If I would try to stay away from those real like no brand needles, I would stay away from them. Because you don't want anything that's going to damage the machine. Let's see. Did you have an occasion to use 80 weight threads for fine and print embroidery? I have not used 80. The most I've used is the 60 weight for very fine embroidery. I have not, I don't even know. Well, I'm sure they sell it, but I wouldn't know where to buy it, because when I go to All Stitch, all I get is the it's hot in here. I'm gonna turn on the fan. All I get is the 60 weight or the 40 weight. I see that in All Stitch. I have not, I wouldn't even know where to buy the 80 weight. And this is the other thing that kind of sometimes concerns me with that weight. And I'm gonna tell you, the colors. I would have to see the place that sells them. First of all, how much are they? And then what kind of colors do they have available? Because sometimes, what I like about the Madeira thread is that, not every color that Madeira has in 40 weight is available in 60, but they do have a large amount. Okay. So there has, in my experience, and I'm sure one day it'll happen, that I'll need a color that I had in 40 weight and I need it in 60 weight, and Madeira may not offer it. Now that's a little too high. But I haven't used the 80 weight at all. And so now you got me curious about the 80 weight too. I bet you that part comes out really nice too, because that's like super thin. Where is Mello? Oh my goodness. Well, Mello is going to the beauty parlor tomorrow. Mello, they're asking about you, Papa. Come here. Come. He's coming. He's coming. Here comes the star. You want to say hi? Where are you? Oh, look at you. Look at you and that tail. There's your supervisor. They always ask about you because you're special. Yes, you are. You're a special little thing. He is going. You want to sit, Papa? You want to sit with Mama? You're such a good boy. You going to sit with Mama? That's it. Oh, you're such a good boy. Look at you. Look at those eyes. Tomorrow you're going to get handsome, aren't you? Look at those eyes. Oh, he's so cute. So there's your supervisor. Tomorrow he goes to the spa to get all handsome. Because look at that dirty mouth. You're dirty. Yeah, all those treats that you get. So supervisor is around. He is hanging out here. Okay, and let's see. I use the flat back needles. I don't use the round industrial ones. The brother machines use the flat ones. The organ needles. Right, Boo Boo? We get organ needles. Look at that tail. Oh my goodness. It's like a pom-pom. When you're happy. Look at that. Now you're not happy. Oh my goodness. Now he's not there. There goes that tail. You guys see it? Oh my God. Look at that tail. That tail. Oh my God. He's a happy dog. Look at that tail. Oh my goodness. You make me laugh. You're funny. You're a funny one. You're a funny dog. You're funny. Let's see. Hey, Miss Brown, how are you? Cool that you have those extra. You need them. You got to get the extra supplies because you don't know when something goes belly up and you got to fix it. Okay. And that's the other thing too, is really get to know your machines, guys. Really do. Seriously. Don't be afraid of opening it. I see that Bob does that a lot, that he'll take his machine apart. He'll mess with it and stuff. You really got to learn your machine because, and especially if you only have one machine, and I'm going to tell you why, because see, I have the 3, right? So if one goes belly up, I got 2 that are still going. And I can wait for Justin to show up. But let's say you only got one machine and you got orders you got to pump out. It's like happens to that one machine. You're at a stoppage. You cannot process anything until you get that machine fixed. So, you're not going to be able to fix everything, but try to learn as much of that machine as you possibly can so that, like, let's say if your needle threader is not working, right? How do you replace that, right? Buy the extra parts for the needle threader. Those screws, that I was showing you guys earlier about when I changed the needles, those sometimes get stripped, right? So buy the extra ones. That way, if it gets stripped, it's not a problem. You can, just throw out the old one, put a new screw in there, and then you just keep on moving. You know what I'm saying? So you want to make sure that you learn your machines. You really do. Hey, Danielle, how are you? How you doing? Let's see. I've had a pop-up tree for 3 years. Love it. I am telling you, it's my first pop-up tree. My first pop-up tree. I mean, I love it. It just literally, guys, it's flat. It's like a flat tree. And you just lift it up and you just pull it up. And then it has like the sticks that you put in the middle and it just pops up. I'm telling you, it's beautiful. I'm like, oh, I love it. I really love it. Could you give me some ways for me to test to use the 10 needle machine? Was going to test out a letter, decorative with 5 needles. You know what you could do, Beth? This would be perfect. tell them that you want to test the tension of the machine. Tell them that's all they have to do. Don't even bother with a decorative font with the 5 needles. Tell them you want them to do this. That way, every single needle of that machine has to stitch out, and you can turn it around and you can see the tension. Okay, that's what I would do. Okay, I would go there with a piece of fabric and stabilizer and tell them, can you hoop this and just run the tension? I just want to run the tension to see how each of the needles stitch out. Okay, and then I want to see the back of it. Right, that will give you a good indication of if they've been really taking care of their machine and stuff. That's what I would do. I wouldn't even bother with a USB and stuff. The tension says, and I don't know if you're looking at a Brother machine, but let me pull this out. Okay, I'm gonna take you guys to the machine because I want Beth to see this. Man, okay, I'm gonna hold you. Oh, can you guys see this? I don't think you can. Man, all right. Hold on, guys. All right. All right, I think you guys can. I think this is a little bit better. Sorry, guys. All right, in this one right here, the butterfly, click on that. This is what you want. Click on this. It's going to give you the little bars. Okay, and then just let it stitch that out. Okay, so it's going to be automatically on the machine. When they turn on the machine, it should be there. All right, it's the same thing if I have a 6 needle. This is my 6 needle machine. Okay, it's on the first one. It's on the first design. See, this has the 6 needle. You want to touch that. You want to hit set, and then that's the one that you want to do. Okay, so I hope that helps. But yeah, Beth, that is what I would do. Okay, when you go look at that machine to buy it, tell them that you want them to run the bars, the design with the bars. You want to see it stitch out all of it, and then you should be good. Then you're going to know exactly what you're getting. Okay, that's what I would do. Unless any of you guys out there have any suggestions, because I think Leslie, didn't you buy a used machine? I don't know if you got the 6 needle or the 10 needle, something like that. But I know some of you guys have bought used machines and stuff. So, but that's what I would do. I would go over there and tell them, can you do a tension test? And then after it stitches out, turn it over and then see what the tension looks like. And then you should be okay. All right. Let's see. So you guys are hanging out. Okay. Let's see what else we got going on. Hey Iris, how you doing? Cool way to soak up the vibration. Oh, the mat, yeah. I am telling you, those mats work. I love it. Because when I was going downstairs, you could hear it on the ceiling. And I was like, oh my God, my whole house is going to collapse and stuff. Hey, Miss Shirley, how you doing? Hope everything is good. Oh, great. I bought floor mats like that when I got my, when I first got my 10 needle machine when I was in Florida. We lived on a 3rd floor apartment. Never had a complaint of noise while I was there. They do work well. Oh, awesome. See, and that's the other thing I was thinking, because, yes, Miss Shirley, sometimes depending on, your home situation, right? If you're in an apartment or something like that. Now, supposedly, these buildings are supposed to be built where you could walk around and you don't hear people. But I do hear sometimes, like my cousin, she says that if there's like hardwood floors, if someone's walking around with heels or something like that, you could hear them upstairs when they're walking. I guess depending on how hard, if they're heavy footed or something like that. And I always wondered about the because sometimes, it's like if you live in an apartment, you want to do embroidery and stuff, and you want to get a machine like that, it's like it would suck if the neighbors start complaining and stuff. But I'm glad the floor mats worked out great and stuff like that. Yeah. But I will tell you, I don't hear the rumbling through the ceiling anymore because of that. So those floor mats work so good. I got that from Amazon, and I did put the link in the Facebook group. Okay, so, and they were on sale Black Friday. I don't know if they're on sale now. I know there was also a $40 coupon off of that too. So yeah. Hey, pretty eyes, how are you? Oh, she said, I got a message from SSL as well about a week ago. It seemed like a spam to me. Crazy question was asked. Try to get clarification. Yeah, be real careful with that, guys. Be careful, because people are spamming out there like crazy. There's a lot of people out there, that just want to do harm and stuff like that. Like with our Facebook group, one of the things that I do is if there's a brand new account that is less than 3 years or less, I always remove them from the group, because there are a lot of people that are creating fake Facebook accounts. And sometimes I see fake Facebook's accounts that try to join our group that's only like a couple of weeks old, 1 day old, 3 months old. And I know those are scammers. I just know it is. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, nope. I don't let them in the group. Let's see. Hey, Joe, how are you from New Zealand? Oh, love watching you. Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. I'm glad you like the information that I share. Hey, Lori. Lori, how are you? How you doing? Time for servicing now, as they dump rather than pay for that servicing later. Oh, my husband gifted me a new single needle machine. Ooh, the 17E. Oh, the brother SC1900 taking a trip to my craft room in Puerto Rico. Oh my God. Oh, that's so cool. I ain't gonna lie. I have been itching for a new machine, but I have to stick with my SC1900. I love that machine. I really do. I can't let it go. I would like to get, I was looking at like that big brand new machine, the one that they replaced the Luminaire with. Because I was thinking, oh, I could do in the hoop projects and all that stuff. But then what goes through my mind is, what time do I have really to do all this stuff? So I don't want to like buy this machine and then I'm looking at it, kind of like how I'm doing now with my sergers. Okay, the little serger that you see back there. Okay, that's the Airflow 3000. I've been looking at it and I'm like, the heck, I gotta do something with it, So I think when I retire, and I'm not working full time anymore, I will be able to really start doing stuff that I want to do, because I really do want to sew. I really want to learn how to sew. Finally be able to sew straight. Wouldn't that be great to be able to sew straight? So it's like I really do. So once I retire and I can just do the embroidery and then actually have more time to just take a day here or two just to work on creating wallets or bags or little pouches and stuff like that, that I want to try. I want to do stuff like that. So because I every time I talk to people, they say they love sewing because it's so relaxing. I like embroidering, and embroidering can be relaxing because I do take, I put my headphones on, I listen to my classical music, and I do my work. But I don't know. You know, I don't know. I would like to do some sewing. That's what I do something different. That's what it is. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see what I do. Okay. I got less than 2 years, guys. I got 1 year, 9 months left. Not that I'm counting, but y'all know I'm counting. Okay. 1 year and 9 months left. And then I don't mean to get all political or whatever, but the word on the street is that, there's going to be a new government change or whatever, and they might be getting rid of positions. I don't know. It is what it is, right? But I'll tell you what, they offer early out. I'll be signing that table in a minute. I think I will beat everybody, be the first one to sign. I'll be like, oh, you're offering early out? Awesome. So if they give federal government employees an early out, I'm out. I'm out. Because I'm ready to retire. So I got the time. I got the age. Well, I don't have the full 30. I got, I'll make 30 in a year and 9 months. Then I'll retire. But if they let me go before then, I will take it. I will take it. I'm telling you, I will be gone. Lori says, I'm looking for a machine. Use is scary for me, not knowing its life. It can be, but this is the thing, Lori. I mean, I'm kind of weird. I've always personally, I've always bought everything new. Okay. I don't even buy used cars. Okay. Every car I own has always been new. However, though, I am one of those type of people, which is why buying a new car for me is beneficial, is because I am one of those people that when I buy that car, I will drive that car until you see the feet coming out at the bottom of that car. Okay. I drive it to its total end of life. All right. I am not the type of person that likes to buy a car every 3 or 4 years. I don't like car notes. I don't like bills or anything like that. I like to go pay cash, and I like to go home with my car, and I will drive that sucker to the very, very end. Okay. I am one of those that will hold on to a car for 8, 10 years, whatever. Okay. And I'm kind of like that also with my machines. Like, I really have no intentions of getting rid of any of my machines. I'm going to be driving these machines until Justin tells me, Jeanette, you got to let go. You got to let go. Okay. There's no more life in it. No life support, no nothing. You got to let it go. But and the thing is, though, but with embroidery machines and sewing machines, the thing is they can get fixed. Well, it's kind of like cars. Cars can get fixed too. But if you go over there and you look at the machine and you see that it sews, like Beth, she's going to go over there. She's going to take a look at the machine. If she tells them run the test on the tension, she will get to see all, because the thing is, if she goes by, what she wanted to do was take a letter with a little design, right? That design may not use all 10 needles of that machine. But if she runs a tension test, every single needle on that machine goes to the test. Okay. So it's not like, oh, the first 5 needles work fine. Then when she gets home, she finds out that needle 6 to 10 doesn't work. She gets to see how all the needles work. It's a very simple tension test. All it is the letter I on each one. It's just a straight line for each one. You get to see them, and you see, and then at the same time, when she brings it home, if she wants, what she can do is that she can have someone come to her house and give it a full service. Another thing she can do also, that someone's looking to buy a used machine is, I think, I don't know if it's you, Leslie. I could, if I remember correctly, I think it was you, but she bought, I remember, I think, she bought a machine. I think it was Leslie. She bought a used machine. She asked the person how long they had the machine and who serviced the machine for them. And then what she did was she called Justin, because Justin was actually one of the people that would service that machine. And she asked Justin about the machine and said, "Hey, I do you know this lady? She says you service her machine. I'm thinking about buying it." And Justin was able to say, "Yep, get that machine. I've been servicing that machine for years. It's in good condition, this and that, whatever." So Leslie was like, "Okay, solid decision. It's good." You know what I mean? So there's a lot of things. You can come on, you can ask for the records. What store did you take it to and stuff like that? And then you can call the store and say, "Hey, is it true?" Because you don't know. People could be lying, I mean, hopefully they don't, but you never know. So you just want to make sure. But there's different ways you can do to try to cover yourself. You know what I mean? Because buying new, it is expensive. I'm going to tell you, because like the Brother PR 1055 X is running about 15 grand. And these machines are getting more expensive by the day. They're not getting cheaper. Okay. They're getting pretty expensive. So any little bit that you can save, to me, it's worth it, because I'm gonna be honest. I mean, I look at machines, but I'm actually looking at used machines also, because I'm thinking if I buy another machine, because I know Justin can fix anything, I'll probably, if I see another machine out there that's a 10 needle machine, that's a PR 1055, the ones that I already have, and it's used, I'll probably end up jumping on that, and stuff. So yeah. How many bobbins do you order at a time? Okay, well, I usually order about like 5 or 6 boxes at a time. Well, depending how many I have in stock. Okay. I try to have, in the beginning of the year, when I look at my bobbins, I always want to make sure that I have at least 10 in the beginning of the year. And then as the year progresses, if I have to buy more, I do. But I always try to have at least 10 in stock in the house. Okay. I had an experience where I didn't do that, and I ran out of bobbins during the holidays. And that was not good, because without a bobbin, you can't do nothing. Okay. So I learned the hard way. I will stock up on those suckers. I really will. Okay. Yeah. So, hey, DG Americo, how are you? Hey, yeah, I prefer the metal tip too. I don't think accidentally putting 2 drops instead of 1 is a big deal for the bobbin, as long as you're not bathing it in oil. Yeah, but you know what, Bob? I was bathing it in oil. Okay. My little drops were not little. They were kind of big. So so Justin had to set me straight on that. The plastic bags you put in your towels. Oh, the plastic bag. Okay. Okay, those are called shirt. I'll tell you exactly what they are. Hold on. They're really shirt bags. They're clear shirt bags. I'll tell you right now what they are, okay? All right, hold on. I get them off of Amazon too. Okay. This is what they're called. Clear, resealable cellophane, CELLOPHANE, plastic bags for packaging shirts, clothing, and products. And the size that I always get is the 12 by 16. That's the size that I get. Okay. Yeah. But they're clear plastic bags for shirts. That's what they are, Margot. Hey, correct the expressions. You're welcome. I'm glad that you guys like the information. Oh, okay. With a thin titanium, so I finished they're 3 times harder than chrome and ideal for high speed stitching. Oh, then you know what? I need to try that. I need to try. I do slow down my machines a lot, but I slow them down because I prefer to. I don't like to really run it full speed, unless it's an easy stitch. If I have certain designs that are like, have very fine areas and stuff, I slow down for that. But I am going to give those, I know that all Stitch sells those, so I'm gonna give that a shot. I'm gonna actually check those out. Angela says she loves the Barina machines as she upgraded to a Barina Serger, trying to sell my LA50 plus. I've been sewing on them for years. Oh, these needles last longer than regular needles, 5 to 8 times. They're not cheap. I know they're not. I'm telling you, I was looking at them and I saw the price and I was like, ooh. But I'm thinking because you're saying that 5, if they last longer, they may not be cheap in the front end, but I'm thinking if those needles last longer, they may be cheaper in the back end because right now I'm constantly replacing the needles, right? So if I can use those needles longer, chances are I don't have to buy as many, right? So it probably, if you think about it, I'm thinking in my mind, it may look like it's more expensive, but it's probably cheaper when you think of it long term. Okay, so I am actually going to check that out. I'm actually going to have to check that out. And I'm wondering, where do you get yours from? Do you go to All Stitch and do you get yours from All Stitch and stuff? I'm wondering where you buy yours from. Only comes in 4 sizes. Oh, what size? Oh, there you go. Okay. She's got all the info right here. Needles of Superior come in 4 different, of which most are 70-10 for thin threads, 80-12 for all medium size, and for threads and metallic threads, 94. So that's 1, 2, 3. Does it come in 75-11 for the 40 weight threads, or would you be using? What would you use for embroidery though? I mean, wouldn't you? I wonder. Bob sells 75 material on their site, but you know how limited it is with the colors. Yeah, they do. Oh, and then Berlin says the 80 weight thread is perfect for applique, embroidery, and hand stitching a binding. Okay. Everybody saying hi to Mello. And I don't even know where Mello went. Mello left again. He's probably with Dad. I take my machine apart, but it's totally a risk. Don't do it unless you're comfortable with it. Yeah. Yeah. But you do got to get to know your machine. You do got to get to know your machine. My neighbor. Hey, D-Bro, how are you? Yeah, you do have to get to know the machine. You can't be scared of the machine. That's the other thing too. I mean, especially if you're going to be doing this as a business, you got to go all in. Because there's going to be situations, there's going to be times when you're working on something and you get a needle break, or your needle threader is not stop working, or you get a wiper error. But that's stuff that you get with experience and stuff like that, Thank you for about testing on the used machine. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. I think that would be perfect because you see every single needle work, and then you see the tension, and that's going to make you feel comfortable. That really is. And you got to make sure that you post your first embroidery design when you bring it home. So that we can all, like, cheer you on. Let's see. Let's see. Let me go down. Angela says she's going to give sublimation a try. Don't have a printer, so I ordered prints so that I can use it on my heat press. Fingers crossed. I didn't like sublimation for me. I'm going to stick to my embroidery. I love embroidery. It's my thing. Sublimation, I tried it, but I just don't like it. Hey, Margie, how are you? What do you think about embroidering on floor? I've done it. I bought a pack from Amazon that were recommended. I have done that, Margie. When I first started doing embroidery, that is the type of kitchen towels that I was embroidering on. They are on the thin side, okay? It's not as thick as the ones that I do embroidery on now. I actually do the waffle towels. They're more thicker, okay? But those kitchen towels, very popular. A lot of people still like those towels. Nothing wrong with that. I actually have embroidered that. My first embroidery that I did was on those kitchen towels. I bought a pack of those from like Walmart. They're very inexpensive and stuff. So yeah. But let's see. I keep an eye on the retirement date. I sure am. I'm telling you, I am keeping an eye on that. As long as you can't see through them. Yes. Yeah, and you know what? I agree with B. Berman, because the reason why I went with the thicker towel is like what this person's saying. I don't know if he or she or whatever, but you with the towel, sometimes they make them thin, and then you could see right through it. That's why, at first when I started out, I was like, okay, I'm using these. But you had to look for a really good brand, one that was a little thick, so that when you hold it up, you don't see the stabilizer through it and stuff like that. So that's why I switched from that and I went to what I use now, which is like the here, I'll show you. This is what I use. I use these, okay? And as you can see, they're tower texture, okay? They got that waffle look, okay? But the designs, they embroider very well on this. I do use water soluble stabilizer on these to give the threads a little bit of lift. I don't recommend using fonts that are extremely thin and stuff like that because you don't want it to sink in. But as you can see, they're very, very thick. So the stabilizer is not going to show like through and stuff like that. So, I just prefer these because of the thickness. That's the only reason that I kind of stopped using those towels, because of that. Thanks for pointing that out, because yeah, that is one of the reasons why I had stopped, because of the thinness. I didn't like that. I wanted something a little more thick and solid and stuff. I do in the hoop projects on my 10 needle, and when buying secondhand, I would look at yes, absolutely. Yes, Joe. Look at the number of stitches that are on the machine and how many since the last service. Yes. Because I believe, what is that, guys? Is that I think it's called the trip time. Okay, the trip time. And from what Justin told me, you should be having the machine service every 500. Every time the trip time hits 500, it should be serviced. So if you see that the trip time is more than 500, I would ask them, looks like it was up for service and it wasn't service. Is it because you're just planning on selling it? So, because if that's the case, then you know that when you bring it home, you're going to have to get it serviced. I would get it serviced anyway, though, because it's a used machine. So I would just get it serviced. Ooh, Lori has 6 months left for retirement. I'm jelly. I got a year and 9 months. Oh my God. Oh, December 28th. Oh my God. Yes. And Fred, it's really funny. He's retiring December 28th. Fred is retiring January 25th. So my husband will be retiring 1 month after your husband. I'm telling you, when you reach that goal, you're like, it's like, whew, I'm done. I finished all that, done. I'm telling you. Yep, same here. Fred only has like 1 month left. That's it. And stuff. Let's see. Ooh. Import taxes going up in January 2 will cause more price. That is a very, you know what? I didn't think about that. I did not think about. That's why thank goodness. I don't know if you guys saw, like, remember I was talking Black Friday. The last time, I think it was the last time we met, we were talking Black Friday, and I started saying, hey, let's look at all these Black Friday things. Well, that's where I stocked up on everything. Bobbins, needles, and all that kind of stuff. That is such a good point. If the import taxes are going up in January, you are right. That means, because somebody got to pay, and it's going to be us, okay? There ain't nobody else going to pay. It's going to be us, because they're just going to tax it down to the customer. So you're right. So guys, I'm going to be honest with you. If you guys need to buy something, I would do it before January. Very, very good point. That's exactly what I would do. And stuff. Hey, Robin, really tired. Gonna call it the night. Have a good weekend. Oh, bye, Robin. See you tomorrow. Oh, they have them on Amazon. Titanium Superior on Amazon, 5 pieces. How much are they? Okay, now watch me Google it, and then I'm gonna be like, all right, let me see. All right, we're gonna take a look at it. I'm gonna Google it right now, okay? Titanium Superior needles. Ooh. $27? Oh, 3-pack. Okay, it's a 3-pack. Oh. That's a little high. I don't. Okay. Well, all right. You know what I just saw? I just saw that Smith's has the gold titanium embroidery needle size, and it's $6.99 for 5. Okay, so yeah. Now I could have swore that All Stitch had titanium needles, something like that. So hold on, I'm gonna look on the website real quick on. They do have titanium needles, and the titanium needles for embroidery, 100 box, for 100 in a box is $59.75 for, and I don't think that's bad for a home embroidery needle. titanium. So that's like $60 for 100. I don't think that's bad. $60 for 100. All right, let's calculate this here. So, all right, so you got, it's 59.75. All right, so that's not bad. So 60 cents for one needle. And like you said, those needles last a long, long time. Okay? So that's not bad compared to what I pay, which is $41.85 for 100. So you're talking about, all right, so it's 20 cents more a needle for it to be titanium. However, though, it lasts longer. So that means I think you'll save more money. I think you save more money. And BB Berman, I think you got me thinking on something now, because now what I want to do is the next time I order needles, I'm going to order a box of the titaniums and I want to see how they work out, because that's what I want to see now. Because I'm like, if that works out, let me plug you back in. If that works out, then I think you just changed my needles for me, because I think what's going to happen is I'm going to be like, I get more bang for my buck if I get the more expensive needles, because I get to run them, because I am changing my needles like crazy right now. So now you got me thinking. I'm like, So I don't think I'll do the Superior. I'm going to stick with Oregon, but Oregon has that style that you're talking about. And you know what? And then maybe I'll do a video of a comparison of them so that you guys can all see. Because from everything that I see here, it's heavy duty titanium. And what does this say? It's supposed to be heavy duty. Oh, look at that. Its original shape are 3 and 5 times longer. Okay. A longer needle life. Fewer detects. Okay. I'm going to give it a shot. I am going to try it. BB Berman, I'm going to try it. Okay? I'm going to get me a box and we're going to see how that stocks up. Some people stock yep. Black Friday, I'm telling you. Now you got me really thinking too, because I didn't even think about that either. BB Berman. I mean, prices are going to go up. I'm glad I hit that Black Friday deal. And I hope a lot of you guys did too, because I was looking to see on Amazon and I was trying to post all that stuff for you guys, because I was like, this is the time to do it, because I don't know what's going to happen. But I wasn't thinking about those, the prices going up in January. So that's going to be pretty interesting. And you know what's so funny too is everything's going up. But I keep telling people everything's going up but the check. I don't see the paychecks coming up, going up at all. Okay. My mom, she was like, called me all excited. Oh, Social Security is going up 3%. And I'm thinking to myself, Mom, that doesn't even keep up with inflation. I mean, you're not getting it, it's like, because it didn't dawn on her. And I'm like, inflation has gone up so much that 3% is nothing. Okay. You still buying less groceries. Your buying power is not the same anymore. So, and from what I heard too, federal government employees are going to get very, very low pay increase as well. I think I'm hearing 2%, something like that. And then I was like 2%. And then when I looked up inflation rate for today was 2.6. I was like, okay, so my paycheck's not even going to keep up with inflation. So I'm like, all right, so things are going to get rougher. I think things are going to get a little bit rougher and stuff. So we'll see. We'll see what happens and stuff. I'm like, but I tell you what, they offer an early out. I'm gone. Your girl is gone. She's going to retire early and stuff. All right, guys. Well, I am going to call it the night. And so I hope you guys enjoyed today's topic and stuff. And if you did, please give me a thumbs up. And if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing. I was hoping to hit 20,000 by the end of this year. I don't think it's going to happen, though. I'm getting a little close, though, because I'm at 19,100, something like that. So it is what it is, right? Eventually I'll get there. I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, guys, I hope you guys do like the content that I do share with you guys. Please, 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 if you are part of the gift exchange, please remember to mail out your gifts. I am also one that have to mail it out. I'm going to be mailing mine out tomorrow morning. I already have it done. I just got to package it up and mail it out. So, and I am really looking forward to December 20th, because on December 20th is when we're going to do the show and tell gift exchange. So I am pretty excited about it. Everybody loves doing this because it is a lot of fun, to, make a gift for someone and then also get one in return. It's pretty cool. So, I'm excited about it. I can't wait. So don't forget to mail your gifts out. If you don't know where it's supposed to go, please reach out to me. Let me know. I will get that information to you and stuff. And I'm looking forward to it and stuff. So guys, I am going to talk to you guys later. Have a good night. Like I said, hope you enjoyed the talk about the maintenance and all the stuff that I shared with you guys. And I will talk to you guys next Friday. So I'll talk to you guys later. Have fun with those machines. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye.